Hello YouTubers, this is Krista Witch 2005. I want to do a quick video on coming out of the broom closet and why I'm not. I'm in the broom closet pretty much because of my family and my work. My two best friends know, and one of my family members knows, and one guy from work knows. And the only reason the guy from work knows is because we met at the metaphysical store, and yeah, I was standing there, turned around, he was there. So we started talking and everything, and so that's how all that started. My best friends know because they're Wiccan, and I figured it would be something that we could share, and they're pretty much totally behind me. So as far as my family, only one person knows, and that's a distant cousin of mine that we were talking on the internet the other day, about last week, and her and I were talking. I told her about YouTube and how I have some videos up, and she wanted to check them out. So I gave her my username and told her what they were about and all that. So she's the only one that knows. As far as my work, I really don't like to tell people at work about my faith because they are very overly critical with stuff like that, especially since we had a guy in our shop that was Wiccan, and they made fun of him to no end. And so I choose not to tell them because of that, because they were overly critical, and I wouldn't feel safe. I would feel like they're being a little too abrasive and not as much would get done. And whenever you're doing something as critical as fixing an aircraft, you don't want to have somebody that abrasive criticizing you whenever you're trying to get something done within time. And my family, my father and my stepmother are agnostic atheists, kinda, and they didn't approve of me being a Christian, and I just think that if I were to tell them that would be another thing that they would criticize me for, and they might not accept it, or accept me as being still a human being in their eyes. So I choose not to tell my dad and my stepmother. And my aunt and uncle raised me for a good couple of years of my life, and they are very hardcore Christians, and it works greatly for them, and they're very great people, and I'm very grateful for all they've done. And I used to be a super hardcore Christian, and then I found myself coming further and further away from God, and not knowing why or how I can, communicate with God and feel closer to Him as I once did. And I just figured, okay, if I honor Him in these Wiccan rituals, then I am bringing Him to me. We are having a time where it's just me and Him and my ancestors in a safe environment, and it's just, it works for me. Let me just say that. Hold on just a second. Yeah, I'm not answering that. But my aunt and uncle, I don't think I could ever tell, because if they were to listen, I don't necessarily think that they'd approve all that much. And even though I don't need their approval, they are ones that I go to a lot of times for advice on different things, and I would be greatly hurt if they don't approve. So that's why I won't tell them, at least right now. And My mother is very accepting on a lot of things. She's a very supportive person, so I might eventually tell her, though that one's still up in the air. If I ever do come out of the broom closet, then it'll have to be a decision that takes a lot of thought and timing, and it'll have to be well thought out whenever I actually do it. I don't want to be one of those people that just blurt it out and everybody says, yeah, okay, then just, you know, whatever. But I want it to be where if they have any questions that, you know, we can have a serious talk at that point where we're sitting down and talking. And I want it to be where they say, okay, well, tell me what you believe and why you believe it. And that's still something that I'm working out. And even though I have a good grasp of what I believe and why I believe it, I want to give it some more time and think it all through and make sure that it's all for me. So, but yeah, that is why I am currently in the broom closet. If you are in the broom closet, you know, give a video response telling why, or give a PM, you know, ask me questions if you need. If you came out of the broom closet, tell us how it went for you and how you did it. You know, tell us your story, pretty much. So, you can do that in a video response, you can do it in a comment, whatever. You know the drill. It's all on the bottom bar right underneath the video here. So, let us know a little bit about yourselves. So, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.